User alert. All Peak 15 facilities have suffered a great deal of damage. Biohazard materials present throughout facility. Virtual intelligence user interface offline.
We'll need to get the reactors back online.
Why are the turrets facing the wrong way?
They want to keep their people in as much as they want to keep others out. Hostile spotted. Lock on. Bring it on. I've lost contact.
What was that?
Animals, wind. This place is in bad shape.
Xenobiology is not my field. Maybe someone in the labs knows.
Hostile. I need an
We got them all, Shepard.
User interface offline. Manual boot required. trying to restore this facility. Would you like help?
Help would be great. Who are you?
This system is monitored to respond to the name Mira. May I ask your name?
Commander Shepard. I work for the Citadel's Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
One moment, please. Council authority confirmed. You are entitled to secure access of all systems. Please note that queries relating to corporate secrets require privileged access. Privileged access is only available to Binary Helix executives. This system is ready to process queries. You may access me at any holographic interface within Peak 15.
I need to find Matriarch BENEZIA.
Lady BENEZIA departed on the passenger tramway to the Rift Station subsidiary labs. User alert. The tramway system is currently inoperable.
What's the situation here?
One moment, please. Diagnostics in progress. Critical failure. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Critical failure. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger tram systems are offline. Report complete. Do you have an additional system status query?
Do you know why the reactor was shut down?
I'm sorry, but I was offline at the time. Shutdown could occur if reactor breach seems likely, or in the case of catastrophic laboratory containment failure. Emergency guidelines suggest the frigid environment will kill biological contagions. It may also damage mechanical ones.
Turn off the heat and hope the cold puts whatever you have unleashed to sleep.
What do I need to do to get the power back on?
The valves to the helium-3 fuel line must be opened. This can be done at the controls on the reactor assembly proper.
Do you know why the reactor was shut down?
I'm sorry, but Emergency guidelines.
What are the landlines and why are they disabled?
The landlines connect my mainframes here at Central Station to the various sub-facilities of Peak 15. This allows the crew to remotely access my databases from the comfort and security of their labs. When emergency protocols were implemented within the hot labs, the cabling was automatically ejected.
Tell me what happened here.
I'm sorry, but I need a more specific query.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Online. How may I assist you?
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required.
why the reactor was shut down.
I'm sorry, but emergency guidelines suggest the frigid environment will kill.
What do I need to do
The
to get...
valves to the helium-3 fuel line must be opened. This can be done at the controls on the reactor assembly proper.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. Connections restored. Processing new data. User alert. Unable to connect to hot lab facilities.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. Shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Online, connected to subsidiary facilities. How may I assist you?
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.
Good as new.
User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required.
Frozen world, the better.
Online. Connected to subsidiary facilities. How may I assist you?
What's this about loose contaminants?
Dangerous biological agents are present in the tramway decontamination chamber. The tram station has been sealed in the interest of crew safety. Activation of the fail-safe plasma jets is recommended prior to access.
How do I activate the fail-safe system?
Controls for the fail-safe systems are located in the security checkpoint outside decontamination. User alert. The fail-safe system is currently inoperable.
What would it take to get the decon fail-safes operating again?
There is a hardware fault in the control system. This can be repaired on-site using a standard Omni tool.
Unlock the decontamination chamber.
User alert. Contaminants are present within the decontamination chambers. Passage is not recommended.
How do I get rid of the contaminants?
The chamber is equipped with a fail-safe system which vents a 5,000-degree Kelvin plasma. This is sufficient to sterilize any potential contagion. Unfortunately, the fail-safe system is disabled at this time.
What's the problem?
There is a hardware fault in the control system. This can be repaired on-site using a standard Omni tool.
Unlock the decontamination chamber.
User alert. Contaminants are present within the...
Override. Open the doors now.
Very well, Commander. Releasing safeties. Proceed at your discretion.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.
targets down.
Now entering decontamination. And transit hub. No hazardous or unauthorized materials detected.
Control group, loosen them. They're in... Can't escape. The tunnels now. We're sorry. The leads couldn't get to the struck. Get out while you can.
He killed himself because he was part of whatever happened here?
He must have felt there was no hope of surviving, that killing himself would be easier.
Online, connected to subsidiary facilities.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.
Negative contacts.
Destination, Rift Station. Now arriving at Rift Station, Binary Helix Research Facility. Departing Rift Station. Destination, Central Station. Now arriving at Peak 15 Central Station. Departing Central Station. Destination, Rift Station. Station, Binary Helix Research Facility.
Stand down. Sorry, we couldn't be sure what was on the tram.
I'd only be upset if they'd fired.
Even hopped up on stems, my people know the rule. 2 legs good, 4 legs bad. Look, you're human and that's enough that I won't shoot, but I'd like to know who you are.
My name's Shepard. I'm a Spectre.
Huh. I won't look a heavily armed horse in the mouth. The aliens overran the hot labs last week. Only Han Olar got out, and he ain't all there anymore. The first we knew, the bastards were clawing into my command post. We had a lot more staff then.
You were taken by surprise and had civilians to protect. You did a good job, Captain.
Yeah? Sure as hell doesn't feel like it. The board sent an Asari to clean up the mess. She went to the hot labs yesterday. We haven't heard from her since.
I'm not gonna let any of your people die.
All I can do is hold out here and protect the civilians. There's an emergency elevator out by the trams. This card will let you activate it. Can take you down to the hot labs. Oh, and if you need any first aid, Dr. Cohen's downstairs in the med bay.
Tell me about Rift Station.
I can't talk about everything. What do you need to know?
Tell me about the defenses here.
Secure enough that you shouldn't poke in corners.
I was just impressed with your operation. Being able to weather a week of assaults is no mean feat.
Only the best get assigned to high-security facilities like this. What impresses me most is the turrets, alarms, and cameras. They're all routed through a central location out by the quarantine labs. One guy can lock down the whole facility. The security hub's the last logical fallback, and we'd have cover from the turrets all the way.
What kind of research is done here?
Beats me. I'm not supposed to know. So long as people don't start dying, it's not my problem.
What can you tell me about the aliens?
Ask Dr. Olar. He's the only one who made it out of the hot labs. He's the only Volus left in here.
I need to know more about the situation in the hot labs.
The facility's off the network. The only way to find out would be to send scouts down the elevator, and I won't send my people to their death.
How are your people holding up?
We weren't expecting the initial wave. They made it inside. We lost some good people. Those of us left are short-handed. We've kept order by long shifts in stems. I don't like it, but I don't see an alternative.
You're certain the matriarch is still in the hot labs?
She hasn't come back here. You came through Central Station, so she ain't there.
I've got work to do.
Yeah, I hear that. Hell! Man the perimeter!
Thanks for the help. Every few hours a group comes up the tram tunnel. It's actually better since we locked down the elevator.
I'll do whatever I can.
I don't know why they keep throwing themselves against our defenses. Even animals should learn not to stick their noses where it hurts.
of the science teams?
Recently transferred, yes.
What do you do here?
Molecular genetics. I specialize in biotic-enhanced allele-specific hybridization.
Yeah, that's a bit technical for me.
I am very good at tracking inherited variations in genetic sequences. I'm sure you would find it quite dull.
You're a member of the science teams?
Recently transferred, yes.
Tell me about yourself.
I am Alestia Ialis from the University of Arraeus. Is there anything in particular you want to know, or should I just spout random facts?
Did I interrupt something?
I was meditating. I suppose to a species as brash as yours, it would appear to be inattention.
Do you know Matriarch BENEZIA?
Why ask me, and not your friend?
Because I do not know anything about the Matriarch.
Then why would I?
That's all for now.
Then I will return to my meditation.
Uncertain. I welcome you. Cautiously, I am curious to know what you're doing here.
I heard there were some problems up here.
Furtively, I am concerned about the state of our guards. Many have been awake for days. For now, with forced cheer, I still have a limited supply of equipment to sell.
Let's have a look.
Regretfully, most of my stock is being appropriated by Captain Ventralis.
What? No! Sorry, I haven't had much sleep since the attack. Is there something you need?
What sort of work do you do here?
I can't say. I signed a non-disclosure agreement. If we survive, I'd like to keep my job. The location is terrible, but the pay is better than any other commercial lab.
You're not happy on Peak 15?
The outside world doesn't exist here, just walls of ice and rock. There's only the work, the discovery. It's easy to forget why science is guided by ethics. Maybe we're paying for that now.
What do you know about the hot labs?
Nothing, I didn't work there. As far as I know, Han Olar was the only survivor.
Is he in the medical ward?
No, he's staying in the science team's quarters. Be gentle with him. He had a trying experience.
What do you do here?
I'm a toxicologist. I can't talk about my work. Not that I'm doing anything since the accident.
There was an accident here?
I can't talk about what happened. Not here. Too public. Talk to Dr. Cohen in the medical ward. He was the project lead.
How are you holding up?
It would be petty to complain after showering off a coworker's brain. None of us have had enough sleep since the attack. Of course, not all of us have guns.
I'm looking for an Asari.
Asari? Well, there's Dr. Ialis over there. There's also our guest, Lady Benezia. Captain Ventralis might know where she is.
I'll talk to you later.
Remember to report any suspicious noises.
Got smoke?
This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
Think you could run that equipment for us?
Certainly, Commander. One moment, please. This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
What's wrong with these people?
Accessing logs. They were in the midst of an experiment when the shutdown began.
When you were taken offline?
Without my program to administrate containment procedures, a quarantine breach occurred.
What treatments have been attempted?
I'm afraid treatment is not possible. An unknown toxin is present within the tissues of each patient.
What are you doing over here?
I administrate the systems of all of the various Peak 15 facilities.
Our medic is... well, he's not with us anymore. Mira's running the automatic systems for us.
Think you could run that equipment for us?
Certainly, Commander. One moment, please.
What do you want?
Were they attacked by the aliens?
They're suffering from a toxin. There was an accident. I have a non-disclosure agreement. I shouldn't discuss it with anyone outside of the company.
But you're going to, because I might be able to help.
And I'd like to think that the company finds our lives more valuable than their secrets. You know Mira, the VI for Peak 15? She handles the safety protocols for our experiments here.
We reactivated her on our way through Central Station.
That was you? I'm grateful. Until she came online, the automatic equipment wouldn't work. We lost the connection to Mira in the middle of an experiment and the quarantine failed. These three were exposed to a toxin, something we were working on.
I understand your caution, but I need details. What you say won't go beyond these walls.
It's a bioweapon, based on an exotic life form discovered on the frontier. They wanted something that could kill the creature, but there was no profit in something that kills one species on the frontier. We kept working on it and adapted it to affect more species. Thoros B is highly infectious, but can't pass from one person to another, like a biowar attack without a pandemic spread.
It doesn't matter how safe you make it. Biological weapons are illegal.
Militaries, governments, they'll get this kind of weapon one way or another, and we're trying to limit the damage. I know you can't see that.
You made this, but can't cure it. Don't you people take notes?
Our first priority was getting it working. We were close to synthesizing an antidote when Mira went down. Our notes and equipment are locked in the quarantine labs. Captain Ventralis doesn't want to risk more contamination.
I'll talk to him. Maybe I can convince him to let me try.
I can't ask you to do this officially, but if you can do anything, I'd appreciate it.
What will it take to get the cure for these people?
The quarantine labs are near the science team's quarters. Once you're in there, look for our notes. It should just be a matter of following our processes.
Talk to you later.
I hope you can do something.
What's on your mind?
I'll talk to you later.
Remember to report any suspicious noises.
What? Then I will return to my meditations.
That stain didn't you?
You mean those things out there?
Yes. I'm the only survivor from the hot lab, you know.
I need to know more about those things out there.
About the Rachni?
Rachni? That's preposterous.
Where did they come from?
They found it in a derelict ship. An egg. Waiting since the last battles. They brought it here.
Shut up! God, you want to get us killed?
I don't have any control over who lives or dies here. Do you?
If you're gonna be crazy, be the quiet kind.
Crazy? I'm sane. God, am I sane.
I heard you were at the hot labs. How did you make it out alive?
I killed her.
Who?
Doctors on Muir. We were going to lunch when the alarms went off. I ran into the tram, and I closed the doors. She banged on the window once, then they sliced her to pieces. Her head came apart like a melon. I closed the door. I killed her.
Tell me what you know. I'll make your survival mean something.
You think I want absolution? There is none.
Could Matriarch BENEZIA survive in the hot labs?
It's possible. The specimens were sensitive to biotics.
I'll be leaving now.
Yeah.
You're not part of the crew.
Call me Shepard. I'm a Spectre sent by the Citadel.
There aren't any human Spectres. Look, Plague doesn't care who you are. This lab is under quarantine. I told you to leave.
What?
I'll be leaving.
I've never seen so much ice and snow. We were running on batteries before the connection to Central was restored.
Something you need?
I've heard about the problems in the quarantine lab. I'd like to recover the toxin cure.
God, I wish we could help those guys. I really do, but we can't risk contamination now.
We're not part of your defense plans. We're consuming extra rations, extra metagel.
Yeah, but you also have extra guns. All right, you want to gamble with your life, you're not under my command. have the guard let you in, but he'll lock the door behind you. He'll run a full scan before he'll let you out. If there are any anomalies, you stay in there.
Those are reasonable precautions.
I'll radio ahead to let the guard know. Good luck.
I've got work to do.
You and me both.
Are you here to secure the situation?
How are you holding up?
You must listen to me. If we do not contain our mistake, they will drop bombs from the battle stations. You understand?
Wait, is there an Asari matriarch here?
Asari? I have not seen one.
She is safe then, at Rift Station.
This is not important. You must be listening. Binary Helix found an egg. It was on a derelict ship, thousands of years drifting. This was Ragni's ship. Inside they find many eggs in cryogenic suspension.
They brought it here to wake it up?
Binary Helix planned to clone Ragni, mass-produce them, create an army. But when they get here, they find this egg is not a common Ragni. It is a queen. After she lays eggs, they move her to Rift Station. They are thinking that without her, they can raise the babies to be obedient.
Hold on. Don't you need a male to get eggs?
Queens are born carrying the genetic code of their fathers. Eggs are carried away from the colony to hatch alone. Queens can lay eggs in hours and have a colony in days. This is how they spread so quickly.
Separating them from their mother didn't work.
This was exactly the wrong thing to do. I am thinking that without a queen, Ragni do not develop properly. Her mind is shaping theirs. These Ragni are uncontrollable.
Then all we need to do is bring her here.
No, I am sorry, but this will not work. These Ragni are beyond saving. It is a sad thing, but they must be euthanized. I am thinking that the neutron purge must be set off.
How do we set off the purge?
Arming controls are nearby. All you do is insert the key. Then I will give Tiara restore.
Activate the neutron purge.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that without proper code authorization.
Code input 875020079. Code Omega local execution.
Verified. Code Omega execution in 120 seconds.
Open fire!
This system is online.
We don't need anything
Very
right
well,
now.
Commander. Logging you out.